Well, the World Trade Organization came up with its first comprehensive trade deal since 1995. That happened late last week. The deal is intended to boost global trade, including better duty-free access for goods sold by developing countries. It also allows those countries to increase farm subsidies. The deal involved ministers from 159 countries and occurred in Indonesia. It could add about $1 trillion to world trade. In today's analysis, last year at this time, some analysts projected a cattle cycle high in 2013. It happened early in the year, but didn't stay for long. So will we see that now in 2014? ProFarmer's Julianne Johnston weighs in. Julianne, let's hit on this cattle market. When we look in the plains and some of these areas, improved pasture conditions, better feed costs for some of these producers, are we going to see an increased number in the cattle herd going into 2014?
Well, we're not expected to. We have gals here at the Executive Women of Ag Conference that we asked, have you started rebuilding your herds? A few of them said they do. Now, what that means is when you're taking heifers out of the slaughter mix, you're tightening your numbers to move into that cycle high that we expected in 2013, likely to go into 2014 to get us better prices. And importantly to remember, those cycle highs provide some excellent opportunities to make some aggressive hedges. So we're going to be keeping our eye on that.
You talked about those cycle highs last time when we were at the Executive Women in Agriculture Conference. You said years that end in the threes. We typically see those cycle highs. Did we see that in 2013?
We saw a record price. However, I think we're going to see even a higher record price. We're thinking around $140, $145 for some future contract early in 2014 to set that high. Likely going to happen because supplies will be much tighter. And the problem and the challenge that the cattle market has right now is demand. Export demand's been strong thanks to areas in the globe that haven't started their beef production herds aggressively, so they're coming to the U.S. for those markets. Export market was much stronger than we expected in 2013, and that should continue into 2014. Consumer demand is our challenge.
Okay, so 2014, when you're talking about export demand, you think that's going to be good in the first half, second half, or all year?
Well, it's going to be should be starting out strong, and we're just going to have to hope that we don't see any challenges with restrictions and restrictions on trade.
Okay, but looking here at the U.S., we talked about those higher beef prices. Some concern that this higher beef price is really going to hurt consumer demand in the U.S. Are you afraid that production is going to outpace that demand next year?
I'm personally not, because I think supplies are going to be that much tighter. I think we're going to have a tighter carry in this market, a carryover at the end of 2014. We had consumer acceptance at $180 choice prices. We saw some consumer resistance start when we hit choice beef prices at $200. But we do have to ration that supply.
Box beef going into 2014, what are your thoughts?
We should have a record price if we're having tight supplies, especially if we have tight supplies going into that key grilling season, which is where we got our record prices in 2013.
All right, good cattle talk. Thank you so much, Julianne. We appreciate it. Please stay with us because, as always, we'll be back with more Ag Day in just a moment.
Attend a ProFarmer Profit Briefing seminar near you. Visit www.profarmer.com for the latest seminar schedule. Ag Day, brought to you by Ag Explore. Nurse your soil back to health with the right prescription of Endzone and Prevent.